Hey guys! So today is going to be a DIY video and we are going to recycle some old soap. This is a DIY project I've seen floating around a few times that I just thought would be nice to do. As I've said like a million times in my other most recent videos, we recently moved into my grandmother's house and I have found lots of bars of old soap just sitting around. So we're gonna go recycle them and turn them into new bars of soap. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna want to do is go ahead and grind up our oats. I'm just using quick oats, and I'm going to put them into my food processor. You could also use a blender, and what these are going to do is exfoliate your skin. So we'll go ahead and get these all blended up in the food processor. So I just eyeballed it. There's not an exact amount in here, but I'm gonna guess maybe half a cup, maybe. And there we go. That should be about enough, maybe. We just want them to be a nice, you still want them to be coarse, but not as big as they are when they're whole. Maybe let it go a little bit more. There we go. Now you can use a variety of different things to use as an exfoliant in your bars of soap. Sugar, salt, you could grind up some rice and add that. But I'm just going for the oatmeal because I've had oatmeal in my soap before and it always makes my skin, especially my face, just really soft, and I've had it help clear up acne before. So we're going to go with this today. So what you want to have done with all of your bars of soap, and here I think I've got, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 bars of soap in here. I tried to keep them all in about the same color scheme, mostly orange. There was one green one that got thrown in there before I thought that I should keep them all the same. And this one is kind of like an orangey pink. It doesn't really matter. It's just going to help depend on the color of your soap. But what you want to do is get your soap all busted up so it's easier to melt. I know a lot of people will take a cheese grater and will shave the soap down. I could not find my cheese grater, so I just used a, I don't think this is a crucible. This is like the crusher you use inside of a crucible. But I just ground mine down with this big guy right here. Really, you just need to get them down into smaller pieces so they melt easier. And the amount of soap you're going to make is all about how much you want to put in here. And I used full-size bars of soap. You can use smaller ones if you want to. Another thing you want to get ready and have on hand is your muffin tins. I'm just using a plastic one because I've heard that doing soap in your metal ones can ruin them from the soap getting stuck in there. I don't know that that's necessarily true, but I found some of these out in the garage and I have no other use for them. So I went ahead and lined them with some little fluted cups. I figured it'd just make it easier to pop them out. I have seen online where people will line the inside of their muffin tin with lotion. My suggestion on that would be to use coconut oil. Coconut oil is great for everything. But since I can't find my coconut oil, I'm just going to use the little fluted cups, and we'll be able to just pop the soap out and just dump it out of the little cup. So from here, we're going to take 2 cups of water and add it in here to the soap. It's also good to use anything you don't mind having to throw away, anything that's not super porous. Really, I don't think it's going to be a problem, but some people have mentioned that they've had issues not washing them right away and such. So we're just going to try to get all the soap coated with the water right here. And then I'm going to add in a few drops of essential oil. This one is Sweet Orange, and the brand is, if it'll focus, you can see it. Aurora Cassia, I think. It's for aromatherapy, and one of the suggested uses on the side of the bottle there is for making soap and adding it into your shampoo. So I got this sweet orange. I think it'd be really nice. I'm not really sure where it comes from, but I'm sure you could find it on their website. So I'll try and leave a website down below if you want to go check it out. So we're just going to add a couple of drops of that as soon as I get the cap off. And you could use any kind of scent you wanted. This is just what my grandmother had laying around the house. She also had a vanilla and I think some sandalwood and such, which I really wasn't a big fan of. But this is just going to help replenish the smell of your soap, because all of these are really old. The smells aren't that great. And if you're using old bars of soap, you probably don't have any smell anyways. So I think that's pretty good for now. And then I also found a bottle of body sheen. And this is with vitamin E for an all-over glow. And I think this is something you can likely get at Walmart. It has almond, avocado, and tea tree oils. And this is going to be really good for your skin. So I'm going to add some of this in as well. It's a little bit sticky. Okay. And then we're going to turn the heat on our stove. And we're just going to bring the water to a boil and get our soap all melted. I feel like it's just not melting very well, so I went ahead and added another ½ cup of water. So, this is the consistency I have right now. And our heat is, I don't know, it's not too high. Like a medium, I suppose. Medium high, somewhere in there. So, we're just going to keep on stirring that, and I'll get back with you once it's all melted. So I went ahead and turned off my heat. This is the consistency I have. I did have to add another cup of water since I've been gone. But I think it's about as good as it's going to get. Kind of looks like mashed potatoes and carrots, don't it? But overall, I'm okay with little chunks in there. It's not going to be a bad thing. I mean, specialty shops sell soap with chunks in it. So I'm going to go ahead and add in a little bit more of the orange. And add in our oatmeal. And we want to do the oatmeal last. Same with if you're doing any coconut oil or any other kind of scrub. If you're going to do sugar, if you're going to do rice, you're going to want to add that in last because you don't want it to really melt. We're just going to douse that in there. And then add in our oatmeal. A little bit here. Give it a stir. I'm going to add in the rest of it and then stir it in, and I'll get back with you. I've got all of my oatmeal mixed in, not that you can really see it, and I'm going to go ahead and start scooping these into my little fluted cups. I went ahead and put all of my, all the soap on into my little paper cups there. Sorry you couldn't see me do it, but it was kind of a two-hand project, so I didn't have a way to film. I just took a regular tablespoon and I scooped out a big old glob, and then I used a butter knife and scraped it off into the pan. Pretty much the same way you would do a cupcake filling, nothing too different. And then I just packed it down in there. So they don't necessarily look pretty, but they're gonna work. And considering the price of bars of soap, I mean, this really just cut my costs, seeing as I didn't have to pay for any of it. Really a great thing to do with this stuff is, or how to make it would be, you know, when you're using a bar of soap and it gets down really tiny. I figured you'd go ahead and look at me while I'm talking. But you know, when you're using a bar of soap and you've been using it for a while and it gets down really tiny, a good thing to do for all of this would be to take those little bars of soap you have and put them in like a Ziploc baggie and just stash them. And maybe, you know, do it for a year or whatever, however long it takes you to get a decent amount. Like I said, I used 4 or 5 full-size bars of soap. You don't have to do that because that's really wasteful. I mean, there's no reason to go out and buy bars of soap just to do this. I did it like this because for whatever reason my grandmother had just unboxed bars of soap just stashed everywhere. And I figured it would be really wasteful just to throw them all away. But what most people do is they take those little slivers of soap and they save them up until they have a decent amount, and then they melt them all down, and then they do this. So what we're going to do now is put them in the fridge and let them set up. Okay guys, it's been about 2 hours. I went ahead and put my soap in the freezer instead. And it's been about 2 hours and they're ready to go. I popped them out. They look so cute. They look like little cupcakes almost. Like, I suppose you could get fancy and find a way to put some kind of soap on top, like an icing. But I really like the way these turned out. They're so cute. All kinds of different little like colors in there and little hunks of soap. And these would make for like a great little personalized gift as well. And they smell really good. They smell just like fresh oranges. And I'm really excited to use these myself. So I hope you guys liked this little DIY today. I will leave all of the information down below of how I did it, all the ingredients and stuff. So if you're interested, you can find all that down below. So I think that's about it. I hope you guys really liked this video. Leave any comments down below. I love hearing from you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Mr. Oliver, good boy, you little man. Get it. Oh, there it is. Itchy butt. Itchy butt. Look at that big fluffy tail. Look at that big fluffy tail. You're goofy.